Hey everybody, Jay with GOT Outpost, brought to you by Rucklist. Today I'm doing a quick demonstration of how I would pack for a 5-day archery elk hunt here in Colorado. I'm going to put everything into the bag. This is initial ascent, 5,000 cubic inch bag. I'm going to load everything in it, and we will probably do it in a time-lapse form. And then Drew and I are going to meet back up probably in the studio, and we're going to dissect why I put certain things in certain places for weight distribution, organization, safety, and just plain convenience. So stay tuned. I'm going to load this bag up, and we'll meet up with Drew, and we'll break it all down. Thanks.
Hey everyone, welcome back to GOT Outpost. I'm Drew Mathern.
And I'm Jay Anthony. Today we're back in the studio after filming in my house, where we kind of did the time lapse or had everything spread out on the table and packed this bag. And I said we'd be back, and we're going to go over it with Drew and talk about what's in it, why put things in certain places, and why I like it the way I like it.
Yeah, so this pack, Jay packed for a 3 to 5 day backcountry elk hunt. So he has all of his sleeping gear, food, everything he needs to be in the backcountry for 3 to 5 days.
Yeah.
So Jay, give us a breakdown on why you packed it the way you did.
Mainly always with weight in mind. So when I pack a bag, I'm always going lightest items to heaviest items.
Yeah.
For me, that just, it rides the best. It gets the weight up off my hips. Legs don't fall asleep. I don't get I don't get fatigued. So that's always in my mind when I pack a bag,
Is really trying to get that weight as high up as you can.
Yeah, getting everything as high up as I can that weighs heavy, and then just stuff all the lighter stuff down in the bottom.
So going into that,
Yep.
what items do you pack on the bottom? And also something else to consider is priority of those items.
Yeah.
So not only weight, but how important and how easily accessible do those need to be?
Yeah. So here in Colorado, we don't deal with a lot of extreme weather changes. I mean, probably quick thunderstorms would be something you have to have in mind, and we'll touch base on the lid afterwards. But when I pack it, I will put my clothes down in the bottom first. They're one of the lightest things. I typically roll all my clothes up into one ball and put them in there. The next thing would be my sleeping bag. There's a lot of people, a lot of different ways to pack a sleeping bag. A lot of people take it out of the stuff sack and just stuff it in. And theoretically, or I shouldn't even say theoretically, it is a better way to utilize space, but I'm always afraid of getting a tear, or, if it rained, it would get wet. So I just keep it in the stuff sack. For me, it's worked. It's not the only way. So I put that in there, and then I'll progressively work up with lighter items like cups, my dromedary, which is just a water bag for storage, weighs nothing, my jet boil, little items on top of there.
In your tent.
Yeah, my TV is super light.
Yeah.
So I can, and with this bag opening up like a big horseshoe, I can really stack it nice and neat, like, Legos in a sense, and then start zipping it up as I go up higher. And then on the very top, which, the heaviest item that you typically always have when you're hunting or backpacking, is your food.
Yeah.
So that's on top.
And then going into all the accessories. So you have your top pouch, which is super, super easy to access. And then you little pouch on the side there, right here. So what are you carrying those?
To the side pocket, I always, during hunting season, I'll always carry some calls, or my little, pouch that keeps all my calls. And I'll keep my main headlamp. My spare will be in the bag, but my main headlamp is always in here, so I never have to guess where it is. And the lid goes towards kind of more safety items. I will keep my first aid kit first and foremost, my rain gear in case of a quick squall comes in, my water filter.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else might be in there. Those are the main items.
Definitely chapstick somewhere in there.
Chapstick. Yeah. So, it's always first aid kit you gotta have, right? Like it has to be available quickly. Um, in my rain gear, there's been many times that I've needed it quickly. So instead of digging in your bag or, unzipping it and exposing everything else to the rain, I can grab my rain fly for the bag and my rain gear right quick.
And that's one thing that a lot of people don't think about if they don't have a lot of experience in the backcountry is rain. They're like, oh, I'll see that thunderstorm coming. I'll have time to dig for it.
Yeah.
In all reality, you don't.
No, you don't.
Especially in the backcountry when you're in the hills, those thunderstorms can sneak up on you fast.
Yeah.
And
Really fast.
And rain can ruin an adventure very quickly.
Yeah. And I don't believe
Everything's soaking with it.
I don't believe if your pack says it's DWR coated or, anything else. I mean, get a good rain fly. It's the only way to keep your stuff dry for the most part.
Because when you're in pouring rain for 45 minutes, there's not much.
No.
Water finds a way to get into pretty small spaces.
Yeah.
So
unless you're going and you have a wood stove and a tent where you can dry things out, you're really not going to be comfortable for a while.
No. And then also we have some exterior stuff. So we have your trekking poles, coals, and then water.
Yep.
So water is definitely very important, especially when you're hiking a lot, to have it very accessible. Same with trekking poles, having those easily accessible, because if you get into some very difficult terrain,
Yeah.
and you have a heavy pack on, it's pretty difficult to get your pack off and get the trekking poles out if you're in unstable terrain. So having them easy accessible can make your adventure a little bit more easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you're alone, you could just drop your pack quick, loosen 2 straps, grab them, cinch those 2 straps up, you're good to go. Or if you have a partner with you, they can just pull them out for you. Instead of, God only knows if they're in your bag, it's going to be a mess. On this side, I've got a pouch here, and I keep these are the tent poles, the tent pole for my teepee, and then just a couple other, miscellaneous items like this rope light that I like to carry.
And then another big thing too, going off of safety and just self-protection or self-defense would be bear spray or a handgun, making sure those are very easy to access. So you can get to them quickly.
Yep.
So either hip belt, shoulder straps, or if you have a binaural harness, carrying out your binaural harness.
Yep.
So if you do get in that situation, you can access it very quickly.
Yeah. You definitely don't want to have to dig for those.
No. You don't have to take your pack off.
Wait a minute, Bear.
Hold on.
I need to dump my bag so I can get my handgun or my bear spray.
And this is one thing we preach over and over again. Take it in the field, test it out, unpack your gear. Because that's one thing. It's kind of a pain in the butt, to be honest.
Yeah.
Packing all your gear and taking it in the country. Because a lot of people, when they're training for going on adventure and hiking, they'll just throw weights in their pack or a sandbag, or there's a lot of different variations on what they do to train with their pack. But they never have the gear that they actually are going to take on.
No, when it rides completely different.
Completely different. So that's one thing. Like Jay, his preference is to have the weight high on his back. And a lot of people, they want the weight low. So test it out. See what is most comfortable for you.
Yeah.
And also, and it sounds silly, but take off your pack. Try and find your first aid kit quickly.
Yep.
Because if you get in that situation, run through those scenarios to make sure you're prepared. Because the last thing you want is to get in a difficult situation and not be able to find what you need.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, just kind of do a little practice run, say, okay, I got a hunting partner, a backpacking friend that has a bad cut. I got to get to my first aid kit. Where is it? How fast can you do it?
And it may sound silly, right? Because everyone thinks, oh, it's not going to happen to me.
Yeah.
But when it does.
Yeah, dude, I mean, you just prepare for it to happen, because it happens to everybody at some point, the freakiest little things. So,
and that's another good thing to touch on too, is hunting with other people. Those are things that you should also make them aware of.
Yeah.
Where is your first aid kit? Where's your tourniquet?
Yep.
Where is your water filter? Because if you guys run out of water and their filter broke or whatever, it sounds silly, but I think they're the essentials everyone needs to be aware of.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just thinking of a nap and you don't want to wake them up and you want to use their water filter. But yeah, I mean, one of my hunting partners, he has his on an exterior pouch, and it's a big red cross. I mean, and everybody knows that's for his first aid kit. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but make sure it's available.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this was helpful to you guys. Have questions, reach out to us. Other than that, we really appreciate you watching this video. Please follow us on our next episodes.
So yeah, like and subscribe and share it with everybody you can. Appreciate it. Thanks, you guys.
Bye.
Preparation comes in many forms, but the key to success lies in 3 essentials: research, planning, and the right gear. Start to finish, Ruckless gives you the tools to tackle any challenge. Maximize your gear investments and keep your crew in sync before a big expedition. Ruckless, your key to a better adventure every time.